Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello, my name is Adam Sandler, and welcome to So Sandlerous, the Sandman movie podcast. Agabagoo!
Welcome everybody.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome to So Sandlerous, the Sandman movie podcast, the podcast where we discuss the movies of failed rock star Adam Sandler. My name is Kerry Johnson. As always, I am joined by my very own Drew Barrymore, Matt Wolstenholme.
Oh, your very own Drew Barrymore, you beautiful bastard. Oh, well, it's good to be back. Not quite as always. I did miss a week there. I do apologise. Did have some technical difficulties on this end, but
I am more than happy to strike last week from the record. I didn't even promote. I didn't even promote it on my own Instagram.
I think last week, just everything about last week, the less said, the better. I think we'll be all right.
I was so embarrassed with the last week's episode. I was like, nah, I'm not letting people know that that I've recorded this.
We'll just leave that one. If they find it, they find it. I'm not promoting it.
Yeah. But yeah, last week's movie, it was Bulletproof. Quick recap. Yeah, should we recap this movie?
Do you want to?
Basically, buddy cop movie starring Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans. It was pretty shit.
Should be better than it is.
Yeah, should be a lot funnier. I give it a 4.1. Matt didn't watch the entire movie
due to technical difficulties. All right. From like the 45 minutes of this that I watched, I'll give it a 4.
4. There you go.
Because it wasn't awful, and I can't just be like, oh shit, but it just wasn't anything.
I think it fell victim to a lot of the similar stuff at the start of Sandler's career. He was just put in it because he was big on SNL, and they didn't really think about the script side of it.
No, pretty much. Do you think it's better than the sequel?
I refuse to watch the sequel unless we run out of ideas for this movie. and then we'll watch the sequel to Bulletproof, the remake of Happy Gilmore, the remake of Billy Madison.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, there's a Bollywood remake of Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yes. Isn't there like loads of Bollywood remakes of some of Adam Sandler's movies?
Yeah.
Isn't there like 8 versions of like 50 First Dates of something?
Yep. I think there's like 3 in Bollywood, 2 Korean versions.
Fucking good old Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. But yeah, 50 First Dates. The movie we're doing today is a bit of a precursor to that. It's the first of the Sandler and Barrymore trilogy. Hopefully we'll get a quadrilogy sometime soon. I hope they come back.
I was going to say they're definitely in a few movies together.
They're in this, 50 First Dates and Blended.
Fuck me. Was it that big of a gap? Jesus.
Yeah, that's it.
Feels like they're in so much more.
They do like every 10 years. So
yeah, fair enough.
I think Blended was like 2014. So we're due one within the next 5 or 6 years, I'd say.
Aren't they doing one as well? I'm pretty sure.
No, he's got another one with Jennifer Aniston coming up now.
Oh,
yeah,
they're doing
Murder Mystery
2.
Yeah. So yeah, if
we'll get there.
Yeah, eventually. If people haven't guessed, this week's movie is The Wedding Singer.
Hey,
there we go.
I think this is quite a favorite movie.
See, I wanted it to be.
Oh,
yeah, but
the difference of opinion.
But we'll get to it.
Before the internet, before cell phones, before rollerblades, there was a time.
Everybody on the dance floor. Very nice, Grandma Molly.
When Robbie Hart was the most popular wedding singer around.
You spin me right round, baby, right round. Like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Hey, somebody get some pants on that kid.
Until he got stood up at his own wedding.
I woke up this morning and I realized I'm about to marry a wedding singer.
Once again, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday.
New Line Cinema presents.
Is it true that you're in the middle of a nervous breakdown?
Whoopity-doo!
Adam Sandler.
Hey, psycho. Get out of my Van Halen t-shirt before you jinx the band and they break up.
And Drew Barrymore.
You're the wedding singer.
How you doing? I'm Robbie.
I'm Julia.
In a story about finding love where you least expect it.
Uh-oh. What? You like her? No, I don't.
This is my fiance, Glenn.
I don't even know your last name. It's Gulia. Julia's last name is gonna be Gulia. Julia Gulia. That's funny.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. I just...
Now, the girl of his dreams is about to marry Mr. Wrong.
That's grade A, top choice meat.
Good morning.
You can make breakfast for bed?
Unless he can pull off the performance of a lifetime.
She and Glenn just jumped a plane to Vegas. Go get her.
All right, all right.
You're thinking of leaving Glenn for the wedding singer?
He's more than a lover.
What do you think of the jacket? I don't know, man. I would lose that glove. You look nuts.
He's more than a legend.
You are the worst wedding singer in the world, buddy. Well, I have a microphone, and you don't. So you will listen to every damn word I have to say!
The Wedding Singer.
I said hip hop. I hip it to the hip to the hip hip hop. You don't stop the rock to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie the beat.
So, The Wedding Singer is a 1998 American romantic comedy film directed by Frank Coraci, written by Tim Herlihy. The film stars Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Alan Covert, Matthew Glave, and Christine Taylor. So this Frank Coraci guy, he's just he's directed quite a lot of films, but a lot of the stuff he's done is just with Happy Madison Productions. Like, he directed this. He's directed The Waterboy in 2 weeks' time. Directed Clint.
Yeah, he's done a few Sandler flicks, eh?
Yep, The Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Came back for Blended with Drew Barrymore and Sandler. But
Hey.
the most interesting thing on his filmography is he directed Around the World in 80 Days with Steve Coogan and Jackie Chan.
Which, absolutely iconic movie.
I love that. When I was a kid, I loved that movie.
I fucking love Steve Coogan.
I wonder if it holds up.
I reckon it does. I mean, it definitely doesn't, but you know what? That's a fucking good movie.
I mean, it's got an average score of 4.7 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it's got an average score of 4.7 out of 5 in my 10-year-old heart. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So that's the most interesting thing he's done, I reckon, apart from all the Sandler stuff. And then Tim Herlihy wrote Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, this, the next movie, the movie after, Grown Ups, the movie after that, and the movie before that one. Just constant collaborator with Adam Sandler. But yeah, and then pretty packed cast for this as well. I don't know Matthew Glave that much. Do you know anything about Matthew Glave?
No, I tried to have a look into this guy, but it seems like he's just basically just a journeyman of just like TV and stuff. It just has roles everywhere.
He was in Baby's Day
just
Out.
Like random places.
He was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I tried to see that, but his credit for Pulp Fiction is like fourth guy or something like that.
He was in The Thinning and The Thinning New World. 2 movies starring professional boxer Logan Paul.
Fuck me, that could only have been some Oscar-worthy material right there.
In a dying world, population control is dictated by an aptitude test in high school, where 2 students discover the test is all smoke and mirrors and hide in a large conspiracy. They go against the system to expose the conspiracy and take it down. 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
You're telling me that movie's got a better rating than Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan and Steve Coogan on IMDb? I'm not fucking having that. You can absolutely stick that right up your ass. Fuck. Nah. That is absolute blasphemy for anything.
Let me check the IMDb. That was
You just said it.
No,
It was
Rotten
like
Tomatoes
4.7.
was 4.9 average.
Right.
Around the World in 80 Days. Oh no, that's the TV series. The TV series is 7 point. So 5.8 out of 10.
Right. Right. We're back to some normalcy.
Yeah, and then he's just been a TV actor. My father probably knows him because my father loves The Rookie starring Nathan Fillion.
Good old Nathan Fillion. What a fucking lad.
And then obviously Christine Taylor is in this movie as well. She plays Julia's cousin, and she's probably most famous for Dodgeball and Zoolander.
Dodgeball.
And being Ben Stiller's wife.
Yeah, I guess so. She just, you know what really upset me when I was looking through this? Oh, it didn't upset me, but I was like, that's just fucking weird. She doesn't even have a picture on her Wikipedia.
No.
What's that about?
I was shocked by that.
Is that, I mean, that must be her choice, surely.
No, I just don't think she's famous enough to have a picture on Wikipedia.
I don't know about that.
Is she, check, is she verified on Instagram? Because if she's not...
She was one of the Brady Bunch. How dare you?
No, she's not even on Instagram. Oh well. But yeah, I was shocked that she didn't have a picture on Wikipedia either. But yeah, it's a pretty packed cast again, and then Sandler's mates pop up. This is the first movie with Dante.
Yeah, and then we obviously get Alan Covert as well with an actual role.
Yep. Instead, well,
with some actual lines. Yeah.
Right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to move on to our very famous segment called Curb That Blurb. I was actually out in town this week and I saw people wearing Curb That Blurb t-shirts, so that was quite nice.
So was it you?
Oh, I wish. So I found this plot synopsis.
No, you actually didn't.
No, I didn't. But you got to put the feelers out there.
Yeah.
If people want Curb That Blurb t-shirts, let me know. I will mail them to you personally. So I was on the deep dark web where I found this plot synopsis for The Wedding Singer. And Matt, I want you to let me know whether we should let this blurb walk or take this plot synopsis outside, make it bite the curb, and kick it in the back of the head. So,
what is this?
It's fucking awful. Robbie Hart is singing the hits of the 1980s at weddings and other celebrations. He also can keep the party going in good spirit. He knows what to say and when to say it. Julia is a waitress at the events where Robbie performs. When both of them find someone to marry and prepare for their weddings, it becomes clear that they've chosen wrong partners.
Was that it?
That's it.
For a blurb, that's pretty shit. It's pretty shit. I mean, it does kind of set up the movie, but nah, fuck it. I'm torn with this one. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt.
You curbing it?
No, I'm gonna let it go.
Oh, you're gonna let it go? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was dreadful. That plot synopsis just...
Do you want to override me?
No, it's your decision. But it just talks about the first 2 minutes of the movie.
It does, to be fair. If it's a plot synopsis, then it's getting curb stomped straight up.
No, plot synopsis blurb, the same shit, isn't it? I don't know. Okay, we'll let that one walk anyway. I think I found that on IMDb, deep down in IMDb.
We've had worse.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely had worse, but I didn't think that was too great either. This movie was pretty well received. I think this is probably the best received of Sandler's early stuff. So I found a couple of reviews as well. This one's from Caroline Westbrook from Empire Magazine. She gave this movie a 4 out of 5 stars, and she said a script with a streak of clever cynicism. Oh, I practiced this word so much.
Go on, Gary. I believe in you.
A script with a streak of clever cynicism and poignancy, a soundtrack of tunes you thought had long since departed the vinyl graveyard, and one of the most adorable screen pairings in ages in Sandler and Barrymore. And the result is a film which, while hardly high art, is simply irresistible.
Fucking nailed it.
Yep, 100%.
Power through and you fucking nailed it.
Cynicism. Yeah, I've practiced that word like 20 times in the mirror this morning, and I still fucked it. But I completely agree with that. This movie is not as good as what I remembered, but Sandler and Barrymore's chemistry, I still fully believe that there's nobody on this planet in as much love as what they are together.
They have incredible chemistry. It's fucking crazy.
I watched it with Alice this week, and she was like, why do they do so much movies together? I mean, they're clearly in love. They are.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
like, the on-screen chemistry is ridiculous.
Oh,
I don't even know. Yeah, like it does genuinely make the movie a lot better. That the fact that them two click so much.
Yeah, it's
really,
crazy.
Really works.
But as reviews go, there's always two sides of the spectrum. So I've got some audience reviews here. This is a half star from Detective Fuck, and he said, "Last time I take any."
Fuck me, you tried to sneak that one in, didn't you? Fuck hell. Oh god. Alright, Detective Fuck, you better have something good to say.
So Detective Fuck said, "Last time I'd take any movie recommendations from my dad." And,
fuck it out.
Yeah. I think the name was a lot funnier than what his review was, but I can see this guy's dad watching this movie when he was 13 years old and being like, yeah, this is the best movie ever, you need to watch it. And then a kid who's 13 now absolutely hating this movie because it is quite slow-paced.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Like, it's definitely a bit. It doesn't. Not that it doesn't age well, but it definitely doesn't like. It's. All right, no, you've got me there. There's a lot of stuff in this that doesn't age well. We'll get to that. But, like, it's just a very not like. It's clearly a 90s movie based in the 80s. It's very slow.
Yeah.
But it's fucking hilarious. But it's good.
It is good. And then on the other side, we got 5 stars from Tyler Dennering, and he says, Adam Sandler invented emo music. Which...
You know what? Can't argue with that. Fucking 100% agree.
Yeah. And if you take in this fake history logic, it's like saying Marty McFly invented rock music when he went back to 1955. Which I think is fair. But yeah.
Well, Kerry, right. Let the audience know. How many times have you listened to the song that's in this movie?
What one?
What do you mean, which one?
What? Grow Old With You or Somebody Kill Me Please?
Somebody kill me, please.
Let me just check my Spotify. No, I was driving home yesterday, and yeah, my last thing last playing on Spotify is Adam Sandler's Phone Wallet Keys, and then there we go. That was like
For fuck's sake.
5 songs back. So even as a kid, I thought the songs in this were very funny. And
that song's actually great. I watched it and was like, well, when I saw it and remembered it, thinking, yeah, all right. That was good.
I've told you, Adam Sandler has a beautiful singing voice, and nobody believes me. I just pressed shuffle on Adam Sandler's music yesterday, and a song came on I'd never listened to, and it starts off like a nice love song, and then it just turns into him saying that he wants to get pegged by his girlfriend.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What?
so Matt, after listening to hearing some reviews, what do you think this scored on Rotten Tomatoes?
Fuck, I thought this would have done all right. Considering this is post Happy Gilmore, so I think like the Adam Sandler train's well and truly left this arrived at the station now.
Yeah.
So I reckon this probably did all right. I mean, I know he's still probably not going to do great with critics, never does, but I reckon this might do 60s because I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, this movie got a very nice 69%.
Hey,
yeah. And
great success.
And
fuck's sake.
Audience reviews. What do you think the audience give this on Rotten Tomatoes as well?
Oh, probably a little bit better then. Guessing 70s, 80s.
80%.
80%. Yeah. So you know what?
I think this is the best reviewed Sandler movie we've had so far. Yeah.
Kind of makes kind of makes sense. Like, I'd obviously Happy Gilmore probably be, but then it kind of.
I think Happy Gilmore did better with the audience last week, but this makes sense for critics because he's actually playing not Adam Sandler to a degree, I guess.
Yeah, he's playing like actually a character rather than Adam Sandler.
He's playing Robbie Hart. Watching Happy Gilmore, like, yeah, this is Adam Sandler. But watching this was Robbie Hart.
Yeah, you could. Is that because of the hair?
Yeah, 100%. It was the hair and it was the wardrobe.
Oh, absolutely, it was the wardrobe. Fucking 1985, but Jesus Christ.
And then, but before we get into the plot, this movie had a budget of $18 million, but what do you think it made at the box office? Do you have any idea?
I think this probably did well, because I think Happy Gilmore did pretty well last week, right? They made their budget back, like
they made the money back. Yeah, like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, so I think this probably did similar, because I think this is his first movie after Happy Gilmore. Yeah. I think people are going to go and see it regardless of what even if it was any good. Yeah, but who gives a shit? No one knew that movie came out.
Happy Gilmore made $41 million at the box office.
But how much was the budget though? Because it didn't have
12 million.
12 million. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, I think, I don't know. They reckon probably had similar budgets.
Yeah, this was 18 million budget.
Oh, okay.
This movie made.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 times as much as Happy Gilmore.
Jesus.
$123 million at the box office.
Ooh.
That's
Jesus, that's good fucking innings. That's almost what, like Well,
That's
no,
a
that is making
big
10
payday.
times your money.
That's a big payday for Adam Sandler. I wonder
So this
where
is
it
why
was.
Adam Sandler's allowed to take his friends on holiday and make movies.
Yep. Highest grossing films of 1998. Okay. It was never going to be number one. Number one's Titanic.
Classic.
But fuck me. This did come out in 1998, yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck, The Waterboy was number 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking
Behind Titanic, Armageddon, Saving Private Ryan, There's Something About Mary, and then it's The Waterboy.
Wait, say that list again from part 1 to 5.
Titanic, number 1.
Yeah.
Armageddon, number 2. Saving Private Ryan, 3.
Armageddon, Saving Private Ryan, are you fucking serious?
Then There's Something About Mary.
Fucking
And then
Aerosmith.
the Waterboy. Dr. Dolittle, number 6. Deep Impact, number 7. Godzilla, number 8. Rush Hour, number 9. And Good Will Hunting, number 10.
Good Will Hunting deserved to make more money than Godzilla.
Yeah. But, yeah, I can't see... and then I think Titanic was the number 1 movie. Oh.
What, until Avatar came out?
This movie was not even number 1 at the box office at all.
What, because of Titanic?
Yeah. Titanic was ridiculous.
I feel like I don't think anything else was probably number 1 after that came out.
The Waterboy was number 1 towards the end. So.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Good old Sandler. He got his revenge then.
Yeah.
Got his number 1.
Big year for Sandler.
Yeah.
Right. So should we get into the plot of this movie? Just to discuss it?
Yeah, we've only been going for half an hour already.
Yeah, I know. So what I've done is I've gone to Wikipedia, then I've added my own shit because, as discussed earlier, the Wikipedia entry for this was dog shit.
Wikipedia for this is shit, yeah. The Wikipedia for the plot of this was shit.
It just cuts out the entire middle section of the movie. So, yeah, should we get started?
Let's rock and roll.
1985.
I'll never say that ever again. All right.
1985, Ridgefield, New Jersey. We meet Robbie Singer, a wedding singer, performing at the wedding of Harold and his bride. I couldn't find his wife's name anywhere.
Oh, no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, for the first wedding.
First wedding, yeah.
Oh.
After a disastrous best man speech by Harold's brother David, Robbie saves the night by making a speech about the emptiness inside us drifting away when we fall in love. Here we find out that Robbie is getting married in a week's time to his fiancée, Linda.
Yeah, so we get the classic 80s wedding montage for the opening, and Adam Sandler's singing the song.
Yep.
I actually really like this opening. I thought it was good.
It was,
some good old classic wedding hijinks going on. You have the old grandma following the topless man around.
Singing Flow Riders, You Spin Me Right Round.
Yep.
But yeah, classic wedding hijinks. Peter Dante, his first appearance in a Sandler film. Giving alcohol to teenagers.
I thought he'd be in this more, because you see him at the start and you recognize him, and I was like, oh, sweet. And then he's just not there anymore.
No. Yeah, fat people eating cake and horny grandma trying it on with the younger guys. Just
that person eating that cake was hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, after this opening montage, we get Steve Buscemi's character, David, giving a speech because he's the best man. And he's basically like, what does he say? He just goes off.
He's just this like drunk fucking waste of oxygen.
Yeah. And
he goes on him. He's saying something like,
he starts having to go to his dad.
Yeah, he's saying to his dad that like his brother's always been like the perfect son, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, we're not so perfect." I remember those prostitutes we got down in Texas or something.
It's like, yeah, remember those prostitutes down in Colombia? I mean, we didn't pay them, but and then
they were prostitutes.
And then he's like, "Yeah, this wedding's gonna fail. I'll give it a year."
Oh yeah, he's walking up. He's like, "I'll be divorced in a year."
And then he just picks up the guitar and he's like, "I'm the best guitarist in the world, self-taught. Thanks, Dad." So yeah, Steve Buscemi, he just completely ruins this wedding party by giving this awful speech because I guess he's jealous of his brother.
Yeah, he's just this.
He's just a
low-life guy.
Yeah,
he's just fucked.
And then
Adam Sandler saves the day.
Yeah, Adam Sandler saves the day by talking about love, and he's like, when we find the person we love, the emptiness inside you just drifts away, and I know by looking at you two that the emptiness is gone because you two are clearly in love, and you're like me and my fiance, we're in love. Oh, are they? Ooh, who knows? But yeah, basically he saves the day, and then we get a shot of Steve Buscemi's character. He's crying at the speech that it's like, that's a good wedding singer.
That guy's a really good wedding singer.
Yeah, so then we find out that Robbie's getting married in a week's time to his fiancée, Linda. As Robbie takes a break from singing and his bandmate George is singing Culture Club, we meet Robbie's best friend, Sammy, who is a limo driver. He's at the wedding because he wants to make a move on the new waitress at work, Julia.
Yes.
So Patricia Arquette, who's David Arquette's sister, is playing a character called George, who dresses up as Boy George. And the running joke throughout this movie is she only sings "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" by Culture Club.
I really enjoyed that. Just any opportunity she gets to sing a song.
Sammy's got a bit of a reputation for sleeping with everyone in work, and he's like, don't you know it takes them 3 weeks to realize that that they shouldn't be sleeping with people in work. So if she's anything like a cousin Holly, I'll get this done in a couple of days. And then Julia's played by Drew Barrymore, and Sammy's like, yeah, things I want to do to her, I just want to give it to her. I'm going to give it to her, and she doesn't even know it, kind of thing. Julia and her cousin Holly also work at the wedding venue. They have a conversation in the kitchen, and we learn that Julia is engaged to a gentleman named Glenn, who has yet to set a date for their wedding. So this is the catalyst for the movie, and Holly, played by Ben Stiller's wife, Christine Taylor. They're just talking, and Julia's like, I don't know if I'm with the right guy. He hasn't set a date for the wedding. I feel like I've moved to this town, and it's just a waste of time. Blah, 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 blah. And then Holly's like, just go outside, take a break, blah, 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 kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then
there's... Yeah, go on.
You go on.
I was going to say, there's a line there, like this. I think it's the start of this scene where they cut to like the chef.
Yeah.
And it's just on the radio, and I wrote this down because I heard it. I was like, wait, what? It's just this old guy on the radio, and he's just like, I like old Coke better than new Coke because it's old like me. I was just like, what the fuck is this? What's going on?
I'm guessing 1985 new Coke came out.
Yeah.
So
good point. New Coke.
When new Coke came out, yeah.
Is that what you were going to say?
No, it apparently it was all to do with the sales of Coke dropping, so they bring in new Coke to try and revamp, and apparently there's conspiracy behind it that they bring in a shit product to boost people's interest in the older product and then bring that back. And
here we are.
Yeah, when new Coke came in, the American public, Coca-Cola had to set up like a crisis hotline for the American public to ring because there was so much complaints, and the phone calls were recorded, and like psychiatrists and everybody, like, they've gone back and analyzed the phone calls, and apparently the way that the people were speaking about losing old Coke is exactly the same way as they would be speaking as if they lost a child.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So people really missed old Coke. But
fucking hell, they had to set up a hotline.
Yeah. Honestly, they had to set up a crisis hotline for it. And then after New Coke came in, the director of Coca-Cola was asked, did you do this on purpose to boost the sales of old Coke? And he was like, we're not that dumb, but we're also not that clever. So I guess it just happened the way that it happened.
So that's the fucking best answer you can give to that.
Yeah. We're not that dumb, but we're not that clever. But 100% a conspiracy.
I like to think so. I like that.
Definitely. They are that clever.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Oh,
they're Coca-Cola have got all the fucking money in the world.
Do you want another Coca-Cola story, or should we move on?
Nah, fuck them. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is up. We've already derailed this enough this week, so we're in for a penny.
So, yeah, do you remember...
Might have to do some editing.
Nah, it's fine. Do you remember in, like, the early 2000s, there was Virgin Cola? Do you remember Virgin Cola?
Nah.
Oh, well...
Like the brand, or like...
Yeah, like...
Okay.
Richard Branson brought out his own cola.
Oh, no. What the fuck?
So throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, Virgin Cola was becoming more and more popular in the UK, that eventually it took over the sales of Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola...
Really?
Yeah. Coca-Cola flew over, like, members of the SAS from America to go into corner shops and threaten shop owners and... Yeah.
They flew in the SAS for America?
Yeah. Or whatever they was, the Navy SEALs, the FBI, whatever. Some interrogation things that Coca-Cola had contact with. And they sent them into like distributors and corner shops and everything to threaten the shop owners. And they were like, if you don't pull Virgin Coke, we'll take away your fridges. And so after all the threatening and stuff, sales of Virgin Cola just plummeted overnight from like, say, 100,000 sales a day to zero. Because, yeah. Like, they brought in proper guerrilla warfare tactics to destroy Virgin Cola.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, awful company.
Yeah, well...
Coca-Cola pay for my electricity.
Oh, you know what? Virgin aren't much better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Glenn hasn't Glenn hasn't set a date for the wedding. So Holly basically says, "Oh, Julia, go outside and just have a break." So Julia and Robbie meet for the first time out the back of the wedding venue. Julia is taking time to think about her life with Glenn, and Robbie is helping a drunk teenager throw up because he didn't want him to do it in front of his family. So yeah, this teenager was fed by Dante some alcohol. And
it just feeds him like a full glass of whiskey.
Yeah, and then Robbie's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't want this guy to puke in front of his family." And Julia's like, "Oh well, I'm so grateful that he could do it in front of me. Thank you." Once Robbie and Julia introduce themselves, they talk about their own relationships. Robbie is excited about his wedding, and Julia is worried that Glenn isn't the right guy for her because she's been waiting for so long. Julia up a deal. If she does get married, Robbie will be the singer at her wedding. So yeah, their first meeting is they just talk about their own relationships. Robbie's happy about his, Julia's not so happy about hers. But if she does end up getting married, Robbie's like, "Oh, tell you what, I'll come sing at your wedding and we'll have a blast," kind of thing.
Yeah, so Adam Sandler, like, this is obviously their meeting scene. Adam Sandler's like real stoked to be getting married soon. I think is he getting married? It's either like the day or the week after.
The week after, yeah.
The week after, yeah. So he's all ready to go. At this point, she doesn't have the date yet, right?
No, she doesn't.
So that's what she's like upset about. She's like, I'm engaged, but don't know when I'm supposed to be ever getting married at this point.
Correct. And then
that's what she's upset about.
And then Julia's like, "Oh, I'm going to be serving at your wedding next week. I'm super excited to be a part of it."
Yes. So then so then we get he's saying he's going to perform at her wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as being a wedding singer, Robbie is also a music teacher. One of his students is Rosie, an old woman who needs practice for her 50th wedding anniversary.
She's the best part of this movie.
Yeah, 100%.
He's so funny. He's so good.
Who plays Rosie?
I've got her Wikipedia. She's not she doesn't in a lot of stuff. She's just in a lot of stuff when she's older. She's called, where is she? Ellen Albertini Doe.
Doe, yeah. Wedding singer, Wedding Crashers. Annie's pointing with she's in Road Trip.
Who is she in Road Trip? Mrs. Manilow. Oh, fuck knows. I've not seen Road Trip in far too long.
Oh, have you checked the Wikipedia? Because she has a picture.
Oh, she has a picture.
Yeah, and her picture is a screen grab from this movie.
Her picture literally is a screen grab of her in this movie.
Oh, she went to
from a great scene at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 1985 was her first role.
She graduated college in 1935. Fuck off. What? Jesus.
How old is this woman?
She died at 101, and that was 7 years ago.
101
to Ellen.
That is good innings.
That's great innings. You get triple digits, you're doing fucking... Get your century, you can retire.
She was in The Golden Girls as Mrs. Leonard. Then again, 20 episodes later as Lillian. And then again, 2 seasons later as Sarah. So she played 3 different characters in The Golden Girls. Yeah. Oh, she was in Hannah Montana, Scrubs, Will and Grace, Shameless, Family Guy, New Girl. She's had a pretty prolific career.
Go on.
Plurific.
Spaghetti. The specific ocean. We'll do it.
Yeah. But yeah, she's the best character in this movie. And then she's like, he's like, oh, I need to go. I got to get ready for work or whatever. She's like, oh, wait, your payment. And then she just comes out with 2 giant meatballs and just puts it straight into his hands. She's like, go on, eat it.
Just forcing him to eat these meatballs out of his hands. Just this giant meatball. She says some wild shit in this as well. What is it she says? She's like, before I met your grandfather, I slept with like 8 men. Back in my day, that's the equivalent of like 200 men now.
Yeah, who is she? Is she Robbie's grandmother? Is she a neighbor? Or is she?
I think she's Robbie's grandmother, right? That's what I took it as.
But he calls her.
I honestly don't know what the
relationship is.
The relation, no, like the entire movie, what relationship dynamics are. I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah. Moving on. On Robbie's wedding day, his sister Kate informs him as he waits at the altar that Linda has changed her mind about the wedding, leaving him humiliated and emotionally devastated. So yeah, at the wedding, he's basically left at the altar. Then he storms off. And he's like, everyth's going to be okay. And then he just smashes that mirror.
He fucking launches it. I think my favourite this it's when his sister comes over and she's like, they found a note. And it basically is just like, so she's leaving and he's like, so it was a bad note. It's just the way he delivers the line. Fucking killed me.
Do you know what I really liked about this movie? Is the score. I love the fact that it was Journey's Don't Stop Believing as a string quartet for this wedding. I thought that was beautiful. Later that day, Linda visits Robbie and reveals that she's fallen in love with him. Oh, she fell in love with him for his ambitions of being a rock star and hates the idea of being married to just a wedding singer. So after the wedding, they go back to Robbie's sister's house. And then his nephew comes up to her and he's like, Robbie, I've drawn you a picture. And it's just like devil horns on a picture of Linda.
Yeah.
And this kid comes back a couple of times. But
He's got the best line in this entire movie.
Well, what one?
Where they're outside.
Yeah. And then, Linda shows up and she's basically saying, like, oh, I got cold feet. You're not the guy I fell in love with. You were cool. You were a rock star. I love the leather trousers, but now I'm just going to get married to a wedding singer who lives in his sister's basement.
Yeah.
And then that kid comes out. And what does he say, Matt?
He just runs out. It's like, hey, Linda, you're a bitch. And runs straight back inside.
And then Robbie's like,
this kid's like 3 years old.
It's like, we think he's got Tourette's. We're going to get him tested. But yeah, Linda just comes and explains why she basically bailed on the wedding. Glenn, then next scene is Glenn comes to visit Julia one day and says that he has bought 2 tickets to Las Vegas for both of them to elope and get married. At first, Julia is excited but hints that she wants a bigger wedding at home with friends and family. Glenn can tell she isn't the most pleased with getting married in Vegas and agrees to get married at home. So
yeah, she's just sick of it.
Yeah. This scene is basically a setup just to say that they've got tickets to Vegas for the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But good news, Glenn has set a date and Julia and Glenn are getting married. Glenn's a fucking slime bag.
Oh, he's such a cunt in this.
Yeah, he's so slimy. I hate him.
Oh, he's so gross.
Robbie sinks into depression, causing his friends and family to be concerned. His best friend, Sammy, convinces him to return to work, but gives... Okay, yeah. So I want to talk about this. So... So yeah, Robbie's depressed at home. He's locked himself in the basement and he's basically crying every day, just lying in bed. But Sammy comes to visit him and he speaks to Robbie's brother-in-law. And Robbie's brother-in-law is like, oh, I'm so glad you came to talk to him. I don't want to be known as the guy who's the brother-in-law to the town whack job. And then as Alan Culver walks away off screen, this guy just goes, oh shit, I wet my pants.
What the fuck? I didn't notice that.
Because he's like, he's using the horse to like spray his flowers. And I thought that was the best line in the movie. He's just off screen. Like, oh shit, I wet my pants.
That character confused the fuck out of me. He's some like tanned fake soprano, like just moron weirdo. It's so strange, but he's so funny. He's so weird.
He's a famous he's very famous as well, I think. Let me find out who he is. Yeah, so he's he's Frank Severo. He's in The Simpsons. He's in Goodfellas. He's in The Godfather.
Of course, he's in The God. He looks like he's in The Godfather. He looks like he's been spit out of The Godfather.
Yeah, so he's an extra in The Godfather. He's Godfather Part 2. He's Genko Abandando. He's in New York, The $1 Billion Hobo. He's in loads. He's in Little Nicky again. And then
right, so I'm sensing a theme of movies here, and I'm pretty sure I summed up this guy's look pretty well. He just looks like a fake soprano.
Yeah, he sued The Simpsons.
What?
Yeah.
The
lawsuit alleged that in 1989, Severo was living next door to the writers from The Simpsons. The writers knew that he was working on his Goodfellas character. It alleged that the writers were aware that the entire character of Frankie Carbone was credited and developed by Severo, and the base character and his own personality. So Louis, one of Fat Tony's, is based on this guy, which you can see. But this guy who's listening to another podcast, and they mention his Instagram, and his Instagram, he just puts up videos all day, like speaking to his fans, and he's like, "Hello, I'm Frank Severo. I'm from The Godfather and The Wedding Singer." And then he just rambles on and like, "Yeah, this is me, Frank Severo, from The Godfather."
Well, this guy's definitely found a niche for himself, and he's fucking built it. I love it. I love to see it.
And unlike Christine Taylor, he has a photo on his Wikipedia.
Absolute injustice.
Sammy comes in and Robbie's listening to Boys Don't Cry, and he's like, "Oh, come on, you need to come to work." And Robbie's like, "Oh no, I don't want to come in. I've lost the love of my life." And Sammy's like, "Oh, there's going to be so many girls there. I don't want to find your relationship. I just want to get your dingle to play with." So he goes to this wedding, and he's just super depressed. And then after his first song, he's basically saying that love isn't real, and nobody deserves to be in love. And then
it's so funny after he just finishes his song and then just starts berating the whole wedding and just starts fucking shitting on everything.
And then the dad is like, "Oh, I'm not paying you for life lessons. I'm paying you to sing." And then he mentions this fat guy on one of the tables, a woman with sideburns on another table, and then
and what was it? And he said, basically everybody on table 9.
Yeah. And then he starts singing a song called "Love Stinks."
Love Stinks.
And he gets all these uggos in the crowd
I
involved.
I loved it. It was so funny. Just these absolute dregs.
Yeah. And then they're loving the song, but everybody else hates it. And then he eventually gets into a fight with, I'm guessing, the bride, father of the bride.
Yeah, he's the father of the bride.
Robbie decides to give up.
All the other people just start fighting the father of the bride while they're trying to fight it.
This is probably one of the best scenes of the movie. Well, it probably. See, there's every song that Adam Sandler sings in this is so good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I'm gonna have to put this in top 4 songs, and there's only 4 songs, but I don't know where I put it. Robbie decides to give up on wedding gigs and backs out of his promise to sing for Julia at her wedding. Then, as he's storming off, Julia finds Robbie in the dumpster, and he's like, "Oh, I'm done with weddings. I can't do this anymore."
Taking a nap in a giant dumpster.
Yeah. And then Julia's like, "Oh, but you promised." And he's like, "Oh, no, I can't do it. Sorry." And then as he storms off, Julia invites Robbie and Sammy to her engagement party.
Yeah, so they're all just about to leave. And she says she's having the party, and then they should go.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to go.
No, pretty much. Couple of days later, Robbie is babysitting for his sister. Her kids question him about having a nervous breakdown, and he has a conversation with his brother-in-law about how to stay in love.
This is fucking weird. Like, it's just, it's funny, but his brother's just so strange. Like, it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So first of all, the kids are like, "Oh, are you having a nervous breakdown?" And he's like, "No, I'm not having a nervous breakdown." Who said that? Like, everyone? And then the little kid who called in does a bitch like, cuckoo house. And then
this game's ripped on by these kids. It's fucking great.
And then Frank Severo has a conversation, and he's like, "Oh yeah, when me and your sister were young, we were making love all the time, and now it's just on special occasions like my birthday. She likes to do this thing where she plays with my nipples." And then he's like, I don't know why I'm telling you this."
What was it? Yeah, he's like, he walks away. He's like, "I don't even know what I'm saying."
Yeah. It's such a nothing conversation,
But
but
it's so good.
then
So
next
then,
thing you know,
he's just
oh, go on.
babysitting. I was
Yeah,
just gonna say that next note I've got here is he's doing the babysitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then at the engagement party, Glenn admits to his friends that he's only marrying Julia to keep her around. Glenn tells Julia he wants nothing to do with the planning and leaves it all to her. So yeah, Glenn, scumbag, he just marrying Julia so he can keep on fucking
Being a
her.
classic wanker. Yeah.
And then he's like,
Well, yeah, like his excuse for marrying her in this movie
is to keep
is
her
that
around.
they've just been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep. Like, oh, it's time. Then yeah, he tells Julia he wants nothing to do with planning the wedding. He's like, you do it yourself. You're good enough. Then Robbie and Sammy arrive at the engagement party and are introduced to Glenn. First thing that is mentioned by Glenn's friend is Robbie's wedding, and he instantly annoyed. Julia tells Robbie that Glenn wants nothing to do. Oh, so yeah. So this friend, he's like, oh, you're Robbie Hart. I heard about your wedding. And then Glenn's like, oh, let's go get a drink. And Robbie tells his friend, like, yeah, go get a drink and another drink and another drink, then drive home.
He goes to him, he's like, oh, I heard about your wedding, your wife walked out on you, that must have sucked. And he's like, yeah, it wasn't great. My parents also died and orphaned me when I was 10 years old. Ask me how that was.
Like, well, why would I ask you about that? Then yeah, this friend and Glenn, they go get a drink, and then Julia's like confiding in Robbie, and she's like, oh yeah, Glenn wants nothing to do with the wedding, blah blah blah. And then Robbie's like, oh, don't go to Marshall's for flowers, go to Taylor's for flowers, or whatever he says. I've lost where we are. Yeah, Robbie gives Julia some advice regarding the flowers, and she thanks him and says it's a shame that they won't be able to hang out as much because Robbie doesn't want to do weddings anymore.
Yeah, so he's been doing the wedding stuff for a while, knows quite a lot. He
knows the ins and outs, doesn't he?
He loves marriage, he loves weddings and stuff, so he knows like where to go, where to get the best discounts, how to like basically make a really good wedding. So he's just giving her some good advice, and she really appreciates it. But it's sad that he won't be able to play.
Yeah. Next thing we know, Robbie has transitioned from being a wedding singer to being a bar mitzvah singer. At this bar mitzvah, we meet an overweight kid who is rejected by a girl who he wanted to dance with. Robbie has an idea and introduces Julia to the crowd. He asks who wants to dance with her and tells Julia to pick the coolest guy in the room. Julia chooses the kid who is rejected, and they have a slow dance together. So this kid is fucking Bruce from Matilda.
Fucking Bruce Bogtrower.
Yeah.
Cool lad. No, this is a good scene. It's just a classic Adam Sandler helping out a child in a movie.
Yep. As they're slow dancing, he grabs Julia's ass.
Yeah, he's helping out another kid, and I've just got dancing with the kid cops a feel.
Yep. And then Adam Sandler starts dancing with a girl and then makes her grab his ass, which is
I watched that and I was like, nah, I need to see this again. So I rewound it, and it's really obvious that like it's just his back and he's just grabbing these arms, and you can't see who's in front of him on the camera. So I was like, there's no way.
And then
they do I mean, as we've seen in Billy Madison, there's just some very questionable scenes.
Yeah. That was a bit questionable. And then just everybody in the room eventually join in. And everybody
then it just becomes this
cup and a feel.
I've just got everybody's holding butts.
Yeah.
Because literally everyone's just holding each other's bum.
Yeah, there's a shot and everybody's holding each other's butt. After that event, Julia thanks Robbie for the help of the suggestions of the flowers and asks him to help out with the wedding planning, and he agrees. So she just
did you
up.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
I was going for the next scene.
Yeah, so basically what it says, Julia's like, oh, you did so well with that tip last time, please help me out with. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll help out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what were you
And
going
then
to
I
say?
was going to say, did you get the cameo for this next scene?
Where?
The lady in the pink, the flower. Is it not the flower lady?
The
Picture
photography lady? No, I
Yeah.
didn't. Who's that?
Ooh, because you brought this up like 2 weeks ago. She's the grandma from American Pie 3.
I didn't bring that up, did I? Oh,
Oh,
I
you
brought
did.
up American Pie. Oh, I didn't realize she was the grandma from American Pie.
The American Pie 3, where they're at the wedding, she's the grandma.
The one who gets pubed on.
The one that ends up getting rooted
Oh.
by I think, does it end up Stifler that ends up raping her?
Yeah, I think it is. No, yeah.
Because they open the door and there's just...
She gets rooted in the closet, doesn't she?
Yeah, because they're trying to find... Yeah, because some guys just ditch her in the closet. It's like, we ditched that boring old lady in the linen closet.
No, I didn't notice that at all.
Then Stifler fucks her.
Oh, no. I'm sorry I missed that cameo.
But no, she also... There was another thing in it. I had 2 bits from this one conversation. Adam Sandler's character is saying like, "Oh, like I know you can get us a better prize because this person got a prize." She's like Eric Lamonsoff, and I was like, "That is literally Kevin James's character's name from Grown Ups."
Is it?
Yeah, it's literally just taking his name. I had to rewind it. I was like, "I'm fucking certain she's just said that."
Does the timeline line up though?
I don't know because it's 85.
Yeah.
So like, could be his dad, but like, it was definitely the same name, and I thought, just good little Easter egg, even if it was
again
or wasn't.
Add into the Sandler universe, the SCU. Yeah, so he first helps out with the photographer, and then the photographer's like, "Oh, you look so happy as a couple. I know you're gonna last a long time." And then Sandler's like, then Robbie's like, "Oh, we're brother and sister." And then they just basically beat the shit out of each other for being brother and sister.
Yeah, he like punches her and she just fucking bites him.
Robbie also helps out with finding another band for the wedding. Here we see Jimmy Moore audition for the gig, and Robbie and Julia agree that he's completely ridiculous. Jimmy thanks Robbie for leaving the wedding singer industry as his business has tripled since. So
good old John Lovitz.
Yeah, I've been with. I think I watched this on Wednesday night. So I was with Alice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and for those 3 days, that's all I did was, "Oh yes, it's ladies' night," and the feeling. And her and her mother got so pissed off with me because it would just pop into my head, and I would just sing it. This John Lovitz is completely ridiculous in this movie.
He's amazing at this. I genuinely love this scene. It was incredible.
I've actually got something about this scene, and I don't know if I should mention it now or if I should mention it later on.
I think I know what. I think I may have read the same thing.
Yeah.
Save it for trivia.
Okay.
Save it for trivia.
But yeah, John Lovitz. He's fantastic in this role. And then, yeah, Julia's like, after John Lovitz thanks Robbie for quitting, Julia's like, you've just inspired me to hire a DJ. Then after this, Julia and Robbie have a conversation about Robbie's aspirations about being a rock star. Robbie says he just wanted to be a songwriter. Julia asked Robbie to perform his latest song, a song he wrote for Linda pre and post breakup.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The main performance in the movie. He says he didn't really want to be like the lead man or anything. He just wanted to be like a rock star, but he wanted to be like the songwriter.
Yeah. And that's what his true aspirations was. And it's like, I wrote, be warned, I wrote this song when I was listening to a lot of The Cure.
Yeah.
And then
he's like, well, I wrote half of it whilst I was with my ex and half of it after I broke up.
So the first half of the song is like a really nice love song. and he's saying like how important Linda was to him and how he used to make her feel, and then it just turns around and he goes, "It was all bullshit. It was a goddamn joke." And then it just turns to a song about hating Linda.
I reckon you know every word to that song, don't you?
No.
Bollocks, yeah, you do.
I don't think I do. When I think of you, Linda, I hope you fucking choke. But yeah,
I really like that song. It was fucking hilarious.
It is such a good song. And then at the end, he is just going for it. It's like, somebody kill me, please. I'm on my knees. Pretty, please. So as Robbie's losing his mind here, we cut back to John Lovitz, and he's just off stage watching, and he just goes, "He's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits."
That was one of my favorite little bits of the movie. And he just has the little slow curtain drag back across his face as well.
I think John Lovitz is probably he's so good in these tiny little roles that he does.
He's always a cameo.
Yeah,
he nails it every time.
Completely steals the entire performance. He's So and this song is fantastic. It's on Spotify. I've listened to it a couple of times. After this, Julie and Robbie at an ice cream parlor, and they talk about Linda and whether Robbie knew if she wasn't the right one. Robbie mentions there was some signals during their relationships, and they both agree that it's the little things that count. Robbie questions Julie about Glenn being the right one, and she says he will be a good-looking older guy.
We get it. Yeah, fair enough. He's not. He's a good-looking bloke. Good old Glenn Goulier.
Yeah.
That'll come up.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just talking, and like what Robbie says, there was a time that we went over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And not Julia, what's her name? Linda.
Fuck, is it? Linda, yeah.
Yeah.
His ex-missus.
Linda had been there before, and she wouldn't let him sit by the window. And then he was like, I should have probably noticed all the little red flags kind of things throughout the relationship. Because all the little things do add up to one big thing, and both bad and good kind of thing.
Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the fact that she didn't turn up to his after the wedding. But yeah, Robbie's like, oh, what about Glenn? Can you see you being with him? And Julia's like, oh yeah, I think it's somebody that you need to be able to see yourself with when they're older, and he's going to be a hot older guy, but that's the only reason she's with him.
Yeah, so it's just she just basically is getting married for the sake of getting married.
We have so much left on this.
I know.
Let's move on. Robbie, Sammy, Holly, and Julia's mother are now all helping with the wedding planning, looking at cakes, decorations, and dresses. Sammy is hired as the limo driver, and as he's dropping Robbie home, they realize Julia's jacket is still in the limo. Robbie remembers exactly where Julia took it off, and Sammy realizes that Robbie is in love with Julia.
Yeah, so we get a great scene. We get another montage here, classic, and we get a great, it was a weird cake scene.
Yeah.
I don't know, really, just that drew me. Funny.
What happened in the cake scene?
It was like some fat person eating cake, and someone was slapping it out of their hand or something, or telling them off. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Oh, I didn't notice that. But yeah, big wedding montage, and then back at Robbie's house, Robbie goes, "Oh look, it's Julia's jacket. She took it off on 4th and Apricot or whatever."
He names the exact street where it was,
because she said, "Oh, it's not jacket weather anymore." And then Sam was like, "Oh, you're in love with her. What's going on?" As Robbie returns, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say then they they go over to the house.
Yeah, as Robbie returns Julia's jacket, her and Holly are discussing what kind of kiss Julia and Glenn should do at their wedding. Holly suggests that Julia practices on Robbie to help them decide on what they should use. So yeah,
I've just got one note here, and I think it really got to me at this point in the movie, and it just says Adam Sandler looks really weird with a mullet, and he just looks so fucking strange.
Yeah,
in this film
because he's in like an oversized jacket as well, and he just looks.
Because it's 80s fashion, and he's got a mullet, and he's just like, what the fuck? Like, he just looks, because it's Adam Sandler as well, and he just looks so weird with long hair.
I think it's this scene as well. I know because he wasn't in his wedding singer like suit.
Yeah, he's in like an oversized shirt.
Throughout the
remember
movie,
thinking
he's
like
pretty well odd. But
and they're in an incredibly purple house.
Yeah,
it's
everything's
horrendous.
purple.
Awful.
That's the 80s, and So they're talking about the kiss, and Julia's like, "Oh, I don't want to full on make out with Glenn, blah blah blah." And then Holly's like, "Oh, use a little tongue," and Julia's like, "Oh yeah, there'll be a little
Church tongue.
Yeah, church tongue." And then Holly's like, "Oh, why didn't you practice on Robbie for educational purposes?" And then Robbie and Julia agree. And then as they kiss, we get the strings come in to "Grown Old with You," and then you realize that these two people are in love, and there is no faking the kind of chemistry that they have.
String quartet from the heavens, the fireworks go off, the cherubs emerge.
There's no way in hell you can fake this scene. No way.
It is a good kiss, I'll give him that.
Yeah. After this kiss, Robbie's completely flustered, and then Glenn shows up with a CD player for Julia.
It is funny how he handles that. He's just like, I kissed her, but it didn't mean anything. I was just dropping off a jacket.
And then he walks out, and then Glenn goes, "Who did he kiss?" And then Holly just goes, "Oh, he kissed me." And Glenn's like, "I mean, who hasn't?" But this kiss also leads Holly to fall for Robbie as well, because she thought
she'd thrown a spanner in the works.
Yeah. Holly thinks that Robbie's extremely cute and asks Julia to set up both of them up. Holly suggests that they all go on a double date. Julia shows up at Rosie's house and asks Robbie if he will go out with Holly, and he reluctantly agrees. So back at Rosie's house, she's talking to Robbie about, I'm guessing they're talking about Julia. And then she's like, "Oh, why are you nervous? Is it because you haven't showed her your penis before? Because you were so used to showing Linda your penis, like you got used to it. But now there's a new person to show your penis to. You might be shy." And then she's like, "There's nothing you need to be shy about. I remember when you were a kid and it had a nice size to it."
She just talks about the size of his cock for like 5 minutes. Oh, fuck me. She's so funny in this. She's so good, this old grandma.
And she's just working out through the entire thing as well.
Yeah, she's in pull-ups and like little tricep extensions and stuff. Julia is like, "Oh, Holly likes you want to go on a double date," and like blah blah, yeah, whatever. Then during the double date with Julia, Glenn, and Holly, Robbie learns from Glenn that he cheats on Julia frequently and plans to continue after they are married. Yeah, so you're like, he basically finds out that he's cheating because he just keeps checking out one of the waitresses.
Yeah, and
then he basically like realizes and asks him. He's like, "Oh, what about it?" And he's like, discovers that he cheats on her now, and then says he will continue to once they're married
because he works in the city and it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and I don't know what I've got on here, but I really like in this scene is as well where Adam Sandler, he's like, "Wait, your last name's Gulia?"
Yeah.
He's like, "How does that gonna work, Julia Gulia? That's funny." And he's like, "Why is that funny?"
Julia Gulia? Yeah. So we find out that Glenn's name is Glenn Goulia, and Julia's going to be a Julia Goulia.
That's an all-time. They 100% only made that joke.
Yeah.
For that. Only made the name for that one joke.
100%. Let's fire through this for a bit. Julia and Robbie are increasingly confused by their deepening feelings for each other. After Holly kisses Robbie and realizes he loves Julia, she tells him that Julia is marrying Glenn for his money. So after this night out, Robbie takes Holly home, and she's like, I don't say this often, but if you come upstairs, you're going to get laid. And then he's like, oh, no, I got to go. Where's Julia tonight? And then she's like, oh, she's staying at Glenn's. And he's like, oh, does she stay at Glenn's often? And then they kiss, and she's like, oh, my God, you're in love with Julia.
Yeah. She figures it out.
Yeah, I think she was expecting a beautiful kiss from earlier, but...
Yeah. She doesn't quite get the fireworks. Doesn't quite get the unmatched chemistry.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then Holly tells Robbie that Julia's marrying Glenn for the security and for the money and for the good future.
Just to have a stable family in the future. Yeah.
The next morning, Holly tells a hungover Julia that she kissed Robbie and tells her that Robbie doesn't like Glenn due to jealousy. Holly then tells Julia that she said that Julia was with Glenn because of the security and money, but Julia disagrees.
Yeah, so she asks I can't remember what she says. She says something and she agrees, and then she says, or he says, why did you do something? Fuck, I can't remember what the scene was, but it was good. And then Holly says something to her like, so why are you marrying him? And then she just doesn't have an answer.
Yeah, pretty much. Julia goes to visit Robbie at Rosie's house, and we found out Robbie is trying to get a proper job at a bank to earn money to impress Julia.
Yeah, so we get a little interview, then we get another Kevin Nealon cameo.
Kevin Nealon's back again.
Yeah, good old Kevin Nealon. We love Kevin Nealon. Then
he's like, what skills do you have for this job? And Robbie's like, I really like money. I have a jar. I have a jar on top of my fridge that I'd like to put more money in, and that's where you come in. I'm like, listen, you don't have to give me a job. Just give me a business card. I need to impress this girl. I'm like, no, get out. It's like, come on, I'll give you 10 singing lessons for one business card. And then he gets kicked out of the bank.
He just gets kicked out. Fucking so funny.
Julia's dismayed at Robbie's materialism, and when he accuses her of the same, she becomes angry with him. So Robbie comes back, and Julia's basically like, why are you doing this? You don't need money. You don't need all this stuff to make you happy. And then Robbie's like, oh, you're doing exactly the same by marrying Glenn. And she's like, oh, no. And then she throws up song sheets that she's purchased with Robbie's name on because she brought him a present to say thank you for all the help. But they've just had a big argument, and Robbie realizes that he's a bit of a dickhead for accusing Julia.
Fucked it.
Yeah, he fucked it and accusing Julia for just being with Glenn for the money. Depressed, he decides to follow Sammy's example of only having shallow relationships with women. In response, which Sammy confides that he is unhappy and encourages Robbie to tell Julia how he feels. So they're at the bar, and Robbie's like, "Oh, I want to be like you. You want to be like Fonzie, and I want to be like that." Fonzie's coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and
yes, he is.
And then there's this old guy at the bar, and he's like, "Do you know what you need? You need a prostitute." But yeah, Sammy's unhappy with his life because he says it's all fun and games doing all this, but at the end of the day, I just want somebody to hold me when I go to sleep.
Yeah, what it is saying something like nobody wants to watch a 50-year-old hit on all the chicks at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just wants, the only thing I really want is for someone to hold me and tell me it's all going to be all right.
And then Sammy's like, "Oh, you need to go tell this girl how you feel, or you're going to regret it." So, as this is happening, Julia confides in her mother that she has fallen out of love with Glenn and has developed feelings for Robbie, and bursts into tears thinking about becoming Mrs. Julia Gulia. Robbie arrives to declare his feelings and see her through the bedroom window in her wedding dress, where she is happily looking in the mirror, pretending that she has just married Robbie. But Robbie assumes she is thinking of Glenn.
Yeah, so he's decided to go and like obviously visit her just because she's getting married very soon in this. Is it like a week before? It's like a week before now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it a week before or is it a few days?
It's within the week, I reckon.
Within the week, okay.
Yeah.
Because then, he goes to visit. She's obviously does not want to marry him, does not want to be Julia Gulia.
Yeah, she doesn't want to marry Glenn. She starts crying. But then she's in the mirror, and then she starts saying, "Oh, Mrs. Julia Hart," and she starts smiling, and she's really enjoying wearing the dress. And then Robbie sees her from the outside, but assumes that she's happy, thinking about Glenn, not thinking about him. So it's classic miscommunication. I guess.
Assumption. It.
Heartbroken, Robbie leaves to get drunk and finds Glenn in the midst of his pre-wedding bachelor party, arm in arm with another woman. After a heated exchange, Glenn punches Robbie and mocks him. Robbie stumbles home to find Linda waiting for him, wanting to reconcile, and he passes out. The following morning, she answers the door and introduces herself as his fiancée to a crestfallen Julia. She runs to Glenn, who is sleeping off. Okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah, we'll cut that there for a second.
Yeah.
They get back. He comes back to the bar with like a bottle of. He's got a bottle or something, and then the bartender says you can't drink it in here. So his mates leave to just go and drink for a little bit in the park.
Yeah.
As they leave, they bump into fucking Glenn, and he's a shitty little stag do, and some like birds they're with, and he just basically calls him out for being a piece of shit.
Yeah. And then the old guy punches Glenn.
Old guy with the best moment of this scene just goes to clock Glenn and just lands a punch that wouldn't knock a fly off its course. It was so good.
And then
Glenn he just turns around and says, "I'm sorry, I used to be a lot stronger."
Oh.
And then Adam Sandler just gets clocked.
Yeah. After he gets clocked, he goes home, and as he arrives home, Linda's there, and she's like, "Oh, I want to get back with you, blah, blah, blah." And then they're like, "Oh, no, go away." But he passes out, so she has to get him into bed, and then she jumps in with him, pretty much.
Yeah, because he's like completely pissed drunk.
Yeah.
And she just basically, he passes out, she just drags him in.
Yeah, and jumps in bed with him.
She's decided she's back in now.
Yeah. And then, next morning, Julia shows up, and then Linda answers the door wearing Robbie's t-shirt, and that's implied that they slept together, because...
Yeah.
And then Julia... And then, she's like, "Oh, I'm his fiancée." And then I'll tell her that Justine called or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, it's Julia." And then this really annoys Julia, so she goes back to Glenn, and she's like, "Let's go to Vegas now." But as this is, what happens? Linda doesn't tell Robbie.
No, so Robbie wakes up and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing in my bed?" And just kicks her out.
Get my what is it? What band t-shirt is he wearing?
Van Halen.
Yeah, get off my Van Halen t-shirt. You're gonna jinx them and they'll
cause them to split up.
And then they break up the same year. So then she runs to Glenn, who is sleeping off the events for the previous night, and tells him she wants to be married immediately. He half-heartedly offers to take her to Las Vegas. So
she just says, she like goes home, wakes him up, and he just,
"Let's do it. Let's just go."
She's just decided, "I don't want the big wedding. Let's just go to Vegas. Fuck this."
And then I've got a note here. Robbie awakens and after shaking off his hangover from previous night, rejects Linda's reconciliation and having realized how shallow she is during his first time with her.
Yeah,
and
that's
he,
it.
And he kicks her out.
Yeah, so she says to him like, I can deal with it. I can learn
Yeah.
to live with you only being a wedding singer. And he's basically just like, learn to live, and I go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and then he gets kicked out. Then, at the 50th wedding anniversary party of the neighbor Rosie, to whom he has been given sing lesson, he realizes he wants to...
Okay, right. Not his grandma then.
Yeah, he realizes he wants to grow old with Julia because Rosie's singing this song to her husband.
Yeah. So she's been practicing with him.
Yeah, so he's watching. He's like, "Fuck, I want that," kind of thing. With Rosie's encouragement, he decides to pursue her. Just then, Holly arrives and informs him of Julia's encounter with Linda. So Robbie rushes to the airport and gets a first-class ticket to Las Vegas.
Yeah, so Holly comes and is like, why the fuck are you engaged to Linda? What's going on? And he's like,
Yeah.
No. So yeah, she's obviously been told.
And then Holly's like, oh, they've gone to Vegas. And I'm like, what? They're not supposed to do that. They're getting married tomorrow. And then it's like, oh, we got to go to the airport. So then,
so they just hoon straight to the airport, and then we get a great scene. Great rap.
Yeah.
Good old rapping granny.
Yeah, this is
It's fucking hilarious. I wasn't expecting this. I don't know why this came on. Just starts doing rap. Great.
And then at the airport, he buys a first class ticket, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've only got one seat left on the plane. It's in first class. It's going to cost you $3,000." And Robbie's like, "I haven't got $3,000." And then he's like, "Sammy, can I put it on your card?" I'm like, "Oh, Robbie, you going to pay me back for this?" And like, "Oh, probably not."
But I'll tell everyone what you said at the bar.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in first class, and then after telling his stories to his empathetic fellow passengers, which include Billy Idol, he learns that Glenn and Julia are on the same flight. With the help of Billy and the flight crew, over the loudspeaker, he sings a song which he has written called "Growing Old with You," dedicated to Julia.
Yeah, so I was watching this, and I was like, they obviously keep cutting back and forth to the plane scenes, and I was just thinking, like, how would they not be on the same flight? Like, they've literally just gone at the same time. Like, they've gone to the air, like, they've basically left within 2 hours of each other. There's no way they're not on the same plane. So I was just sat here for this whole scene thinking this.
What, they were obviously on the same...
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck are they not, like, are they on the same plane? Like, what is the climax here? There's 8 minutes left of this movie. They're definitely on the same plane. What are they trying to present here?
They're probably going from Newark. Is it New Jersey?
Oh, Newark. Or LaGuardia. Or JFK. Oh, I guess he wouldn't go from JFK.
Let's check. Newark, New Jersey, 2. Let's see how often flights go.
I doubt there's more than one every 3 hours, is what I'm saying.
So today we have one at 10 to 6, at 7:30, at 6:10.
Jesus.
Okay, yeah. So 13:42, 14:20, 16:59, 11:59, 8:15. Yeah. So there's quite a few.
I still reckon I'm right.
Probably in 1986, there was a lot less. But yeah, he comes over the speaker and he just sings the most beautiful song in the world, which is probably my favorite Adam Sandler song.
Nice.
It's Do
you want to give us a rendition?
No, it's too beautiful for me to ruin. Then, as Robbie enters the main cabin, Glenn tries to assault him, only to be thwarted and shoved into a lavatory by flight attendants with the assistance from Billy Idol and a large fan. This fan I think he was a professional wrestler.
I looked at this. I've got his name, but I didn't look at him up because he doesn't have a Wikipedia. He's called Albert.
Oh, I don't know who he is, but I read he was a professional wrestler somewhere. But yeah, Robbie's singing this song. Glenn's like, "Oh, what the fuck's this guy doing here?" And then the flight attendant basically just pushes him back to the back of the plane. He's like, "Oh, I gotta serve my drinks." And then there's a big kerfuffle, and he tries to climb over to the other aisle, and then Bill Idol does exactly the same, and then they push him into the toilet and just lock him there. What is it with antagonists in Sandler's movies getting locked in bathrooms?
Oh, getting locked in bathrooms for the whole movie.
Robbie and Julie admit their love for each other and share a kiss. Billy, impressed by Robbie's song, offers to tell his record company and executives about him. Later, Robbie and Julia are married, and Robbie's bandmates perform at their wedding with Steve Buscemi back on lead vocals.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi back as the wedding singer once again.
Yeah.
To close us out. No, I like this. I mean, it's a good, obviously, like, the closing
Yeah.
song is really good.
That's the movie.
The good scene, the airplane scene's a good scene.
Yeah. That's probably the best scene in the movie. I don't know. I felt like the middle of the movie, like Wikipedia, there wasn't much there.
Yeah, it does kind of sag in the middle.
Yeah, and
like I remember watching this, and like when I was watching this the other day, and I was watching it, and I was like halfway through, and I was like, "Fuck, I must have been going a while," and I thought I was way further in than I was. But then, saying that, the last half an hour kind of breezed by.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think I remember checking the time, and it was like 46 minutes in. I'm like, oh shit, there's another 40 minutes of this.
I think that's exactly where I was as well.
But yeah, it's not as good as what I remember, but I think the things that I liked when I was a kid was the songs.
Yeah.
And I think the songs definitely still hold up to that standard.
Yeah,
I think the music in this is the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't know why, but I was expecting this movie to be funnier than what it was. Like there was some funny moments, like with John Lovitz and Steve Buscemi, but I expected it to be a lot more consistent.
Just a continuous, like
yeah.
No, I fair enough. But I can see what you mean there.
But apart from that, this movie had a lot of heart.
Oh yeah, it's good. This movie's got a lot of character to it. Like it's I had a great time watching this again.
I really enjoyed my time, but I just think it was completely different to what I'd remember watching it 10 years ago, kind of thing.
See, because I don't think I'd ever seen this all the way through, like properly.
Oh, have you not?
I think I've seen most of this movie probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
just not all of it, like at once. Yeah.
Well,
so it was good, and I really enjoyed just sitting down and going through it. But I'd say I'd recommend this to someone.
Oh, 100. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I wouldn't say this was in my top 5 when I was a kid, though. So that's maybe why.
Yeah, same.
Maybe that's why I was expecting something completely different.
Don't have the same nostalgia for it. I thought it might have been a bit better than what you remember, or like a bit different.
A bit different, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon it was better than I thought it was going to be, but just different, you know?
Yeah. It was different than I remembered it being. Like
it's probably the most grown up of Sandler's movies so far, and is until Reign Over Me.
Oh, definitely, yeah. 100%.
It's the one that's geared towards adults a bit more. So, Matt, our rating system, what we need to do is we need to give this movie a certain number of sandbags out of 10, and then we need to say what kind of flood those sandbags could stop. So, where are we going? Your highest so far is 9.4 for Happy Gilmore.
I'm going to give this a 7.7.
That's the exact number I was thinking.
Yes, I knew we'd get one. No,
So,
sorry, yeah, go on.
yeah, I also give it a 7.7. But Matt, what kind of flood could your 7.7 sandbags stop?
Oh, fuck me. I have no idea. You come to me every week and you know what? I'll never think of one. And then
My 7.7 sandbags could stop the flood of alcohol that Peter Dante gives to underage kids.
Jesus Christ.
Which, by the looks of it, was quite a lot.
No, you're not wrong. That kid was fucking wasted.
Yeah.
What could my 7.7 sandbag stop?
Why didn't you carry on from mine? And if my sandbags don't work, why don't your sandbags stop the flood of puke that comes out from the underage kid's mouth?
Yeah, all right. Fuck it. That'll do you.
There we go.
Fucking hell.
That Peter Dante is a sneaky bastard.
He's a menace. He's got almost 16 sandbags to all to himself right there.
So that brings my average score to a 4.44, and your average score is a 4.7. So we're equaling out across the board.
We're close enough.
We are very close. Right. Before we finish up, do you have any pieces of trivia or goofs that you want to run through?
I do actually. Yeah, there was some good trivia for this movie that we found. Most of it is about the production of the movie, and you were saying you had some good trivia as well, so I'll leave you for that. One thing I thought about this is when I read it. I'll just try and find where the quote is. But basically, there was a quote saying that this was the movie when they didn't mind having people that weren't Adam Sandler on the screen as much.
Right.
So, like for the previous movies that had been in, like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and such, they with test audience, they'd done really poorly when he wasn't like basically in the scene.
Oh.
And this was the first movie that that wasn't like that. So like when he wasn't, and I think they're basically saying because Drew Barrymore was just really good in this that it helped that Adam Sandler didn't have to be in like the whole film, like basically every single scene.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because, and I think that's got a lot to do with Adam Sandler not playing Adam Sandler because in the other movies when Sandler wasn't on the screen, they were just scenes that were written for exposition, like with Carl and whatever from Billy Madison. They were just scenes that were added in to move the story along, where Sandler couldn't get involved. But I feel like the scenes in this movie without Sandler were actual scenes with actual characters and
rather than just like connective bits of tissue.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah. Like I get because the only thing I can think of in Billy Madison that doesn't have Adam Sandler in is either like
the boardroom
scene. Yeah, the boardroom scenes. With fuck. It's literally just the boardroom scenes and when he's talking to the principal in the kitchen at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two.
And
then Happy Gilmore, I think he's in it throughout, apart from when we cut back to Ben Stiller in the nursing home. But those scenes were great.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Oh,
there's a few other things. Sorry, there's a couple.
Yeah, go on.
There's one you were saying before. Supposedly, Drew Barrymore called Adam Sandler her cinematic soulmate before they'd ever acted on screen together.
Yeah, they are. They're not just cinematics. They are life partners. Well, they should be. No, they are soulmates, 100%.
They do really, really well together. It's so good. And I've just got one more thing on here as well. is that they brought in Carrie Fisher to help with the script for the female side of it.
Yeah.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to ask. I don't know if you remember me mentioning a couple of weeks back, Carrie Fisher's half sister was in a movie. So yeah. That's what I was going to say. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, came. Look, like she's done so many uncredited touch-ups on scripts in Hollywood. Like that was her job for so many years.
That makes sense though, because I guess she was what, like 19 when Star Wars came out.
Like she's worked on so many scripts, and then Judd Apatow also helped out with this script as well.
Yeah.
I got a couple of other pieces here. A musical adaptation of this movie opened in 2006, and it was nominated for the 2006 Tony Awards for Best Musical, Best Actor, Best Book, and Best Score. I've listened to Growing Old With You from the musical, and because it's a musical, it's very heightened, and they get Drew Barrymore's character, Julia, to sing a verse as well. So, so instead of being like a minute 30 where the song is just Adam Sandler singing, it goes on for like 3 minutes, and it's just not as good as what it is in this movie.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Betty White, she was considered for the role of Rosie.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see Betty White doing a great job at this.
The role of Glenn Guglia was originally written with Jim Carrey in mind.
I don't know about that.
So we could have had a Carrey Sandler movie here. But the role...
That would have been a much different take on the role,
different.
but I'd just like... I don't know. That would have been weird.
And then the role was offered to Christopher McDonald from Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The role was offered to Charlie Sheen and John Cryer, both Charlie and Alan Harper.
Yeah. Whose mother is in this.
Yeah. And Matthew Broderick was also considered for the role.
Matthew Broderick and John Cryer might be the same person.
Yeah. John Cryer's Lex Luthor.
John Cryer is Lex Luthor. That's wild.
He's gone from Alan Harper to Lex Luthor, which is crazy.
Everyone's got a villain origin story.
The only one there I could see doing this role is potentially Charlie Sheen.
I could probably see Christopher McDonald doing it. He'd do it differently, but you could see him being just a slimy arsehole in this as well.
Yeah, but would he just be Shooter?
Would he just be Shooter McGavin? Yeah, that's fair.
And then that's all the trivia I've got. And then a couple of goofs as well. There's a Lego set on the floor that wasn't made until 1997, even though this movie was set in the 1980s.
There's a Lego set in the movie, right? Okay.
When flying to Las Vegas, Julia remarks that she would like to see the lights of Las Vegas from the plane. However, the plane was in the morning, so you wouldn't be able to see the lights anyway.
You can see, they're flying at like midday.
Yep. So even considering the time difference, by the time that you get to Las Vegas, flying west, you'll be flying in the morning still. And then Rolling Stones magazine that Julia is reading is dated January 31st and is in perfect condition. As the scene is set in August, it should have some wear, as she does not have it when she boards the plane.
The Boy George edition.
Yeah. That's everything I have on this movie.
Goddamn cinema sins. Going through and nitpicking there.
I hate IMDb goofs.
So shit.
Some of them are so pretentious. I love the ones where they're like 7 out of 136 people found this interesting. But yeah, that's me done with The Wedding Singer. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nah, I think Let me just check my notes, make sure I've not got anything else. But yeah, I think that's everything I had. And Microsoft Word has crashed. Yeah, well, never mind.
Classic.
That's all we've got on the wedding.
Do you want to let the people know what we're doing next week?
What are we? Oh, we have got the Water Boy next week. Or
we have a
movie in between.
Yeah.
That we could or couldn't do.
Yeah, so Adam Sandler's in this movie on screen. So I think he's got a similar size role to what he has in Airheads. Not Airheads, Coneheads.
Coneheads.
Classic. But this movie stars Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Don Rickles. Chris Farley.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a Roald Dahl book. And it's directed by Bob Saget.
Mate, we love it. I mean, just because Norm Macdonald is the lead, I'm more than happy to watch that.
Yeah, I think we should throw that in,
I was looking at
in between.
I was looking at his filmography, and on Adam Sandler, it literally says, I think it's like uncredited cameo.
Yeah, I think he's uncredited as the devil. So he's
really?
He's playing his dad from Little Nicky.
Nice.
So yeah, should we do that next week?
Maybe.
Yeah. So next week
we probably will.
Yeah. I think it's called Dirty Work.
I think that rings a bell.
Next week's movie is Dirty Work, directed
Next
by...
week's movie stars Norm Macdonald and has Adam Sandler in it.
Yeah,
I think.
And directed by Danny Tanner himself. Have you seen Full House?
The TV show?
Yeah.
I have not.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's really good, actually. I think you should watch it.
I should watch Full House.
Yeah.
The one from the 80s?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just a good show. It's actually a really good show. I've watched the entire thing.
Isn't it like watching the Brady Bunch?
Yeah, possibly. Like
just less wholesome.
No, it's very wholesome. That's the thing.
Oh God.
I reckon if you got high and watched it, I think you'd enjoy. It's very, very 80s.
Just incredibly 80s.
Yeah.
Don't they have Fuller House on Netflix?
Yeah, so that's the sequel series.
What, 30 years later?
Yeah. It's the Bulletproof 2.
Oh jeez. Not doing that.
No. So next week, the movie is Dirty Work, and Matt's gonna watch Full House.
When I started a podcast with you, I didn't expect to get any fucking homework. More than what is necessary, at least.
If you want, follow us on Instagram at Sandlerous Pod. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Give me 2 seconds. I've actually got a review I need to read out.
Yes.
I completely forgot about this guy, but it's from Johnny GC7, and he gave us a 5-star review on Apple, and he said, I got it here, 2 seconds. I'm really sorry. I completely forgot about this.
Fucking shout out to Johnny.
Maybe. So,
depending on what you said.
Johnny said, excellent. Wonderfully unique idea for a podcast. Perfect for Sandler fans. Yeah, and that was from Johnny GC7. Johnny, I have bad news for you. This is not unique at all. We've actually kind of directly ripped off other podcasts such as Mike Check, where they talk about movies of Mike Myers.
Any movie review podcast is a rip off of every other movie review podcast. Fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. But yeah, thanks for the 5 stars. And there's actually another one there as well. 5 stars from MX Sandy 12, and he said, a must for Adam Sandler fans. What a cool fucking show.
Oh, cheers, guys. What a
Yeah.
cool fucking guy.
So that's 2 nice reviews. So yeah, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We'll read it out. Send us an email at sandlerouspod@gmail.com. And again, follow the Instagram for the latest information on our episodes at Sandlerouspod. Apart from that, I think it's time for us to say goodbye because we have been doing this for almost 2 hours.
Fucking hell. All right. Thank you for all the feedback and everything, guys. It does mean a lot.
Yeah.
We'll see you after. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.